Hello, my loves. It's me, psychic medium Daniel Monroe, and I have a very, very special guest today. I have the one and only Soul. Can you hear us,
Hi.
Soul?
I think
Yay!
I can hear you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
I love it. Thank you for being here. Soul is filling in for Mama Kori because Mama Kori is out sick today, but Soul is our. We like to refer to Soul as the House of Monroe's a spooky specialist, meaning Soul
Yes.
loves everything intuition, mediumship, but she loves everything like paranormal. And I was sitting here and I was like, who else would I have, fill Mama Corey's shoes? And of course it's Soul because Soul and I have gone through cemeteries together. We've gone through the Shanghai tunnels here in Portland, Oregon together. We've gone through,
Yes.
well, she successfully went through the Ghost Adventures Museum in Vegas, and I tapped out like not even halfway through.
He left me, literally left me. Went back to the hotel
I
room, didn't
did.
tell me.
I listen, I try to send a text, but you don't have service and stuff in there. You don't have your phone on you. Like, no, no, no. I was
It's
tapped
true.
out. And it was hot. It was so hot in there and like so sweaty. And
It was.
now I'm
It
good. But
was.
anywho, today we are talking about intuition versus anxiety. And this is something that I've seen 24/7 all the time where people are like, okay, I am spiraling. I can't trust my gut instinct. I don't know what decision to make or where to go. And there is a science behind intuition and mediumship and how energy works. And like the Heart Math Institute has a really good discovery and like testing and how like your own heart actually holds its own like brain system basically, and it actually sends more information to your brain than your brain does your heart. So I wanted today's episode to focus on intuition, and it's so funny how Soul and I actually met was by her following her intuition. So do you want to tell them how we met?
Absolutely. So this was about 3 years ago now, I think it was. I had been following Daniel actually since I think around 2020, around COVID. And the way that I look for readers is I have to look at their face, right? Very fascinated by him for whatever reason, followed you, right? Followed you.
Probably because I'm
Anyways,
so pretty, but it's okay.
you're just so pretty. You are absolutely stunning. But it was just your energy that I was really drawn to. And anyway, long story short, I would get your emails and I had saw that you were having this weekend discovery, a 2 day, 3 day weekend event. And I told one of my friends and she's like, let's go. Because the problem was, I remember what you had said in the email, like, do you have ringing in your ears? Do you talk to yourself? It was all these things. I'm like, check, check,
Check,
check.
check, check, check.
So we went and it was an absolutely transforming, life changing weekend for me personally. So I went with the intention of being able to listen to myself better, right? Trust your gut, listen, that just to kind of like have that better community, God, I can't even talk.
A
You're
better
better,
grasp.
yes, of what's going on, and then that relationship with your guides and your angels, and like to know the difference when it's them talking to you versus you. Well, what we Daniel did not tell us, and he did not tell us to the like was the last couple hours before class. He said we've been doing all this week, all weekend, for the preparation of mediumship, and
Yeah.
now you're going to stand up in the middle of a circle with a blindfold and you're going to read. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. I go to mediums. I'm not a medium. And through with Daniel, I was able to do my first mediumship reading. And that started the ball rolling with Daniel and
And
I.
now, how many mediumship readings have you done?
I can't even count how many I've done.
I
Hold on, look,
remember
my
Soul.
my earbud fell in my shirt.
I
Sorry.
remember Soul like panicking and going, no, 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 because it was the last day was mediumship. Like we did healing, we did intuition, we did all these different things because my foundation of teaching and tapping in with intuition and tapping in with your gifts and abilities is you have to clear out the stuff that you've bottled up within you. And so I always start like the weekend discovery, which we're going to end up doing again this summer once I finish opening up my own metaphysical spirit center, which is happening May 2nd, if you guys don't know about it. But the weekend discovery is all about healing. Like you have to start with healing. So we start day one healing, then the second day is intuition, and then the third day is about mediumship. And I remember Soul panicking and going, "Oh my gosh, I can't do this." And she actually went after somebody who did a really good reading. And then Soul was like, I can't follow that. What are we doing? I did not sign up for this. I just came here, to meet you and learn something new and blah blah blah. And then Soul did such an amazing reading, blindfolded, was able to even find the person it belonged to. And she got emotional, was crying, and other people were getting emotional and crying. And yeah. And so I'm so glad that you checked those boxes because we've also been like best friends now ever since then. And that was like what, 2020?
Abs-
So 6 years?
no, I
Oh
think it
my
was around
God.
2022, something like that. It's been a while though. We've been together,
Yeah.
what seems longer.
We've
What's
traveled, we've
so
gone
crazy?
to
Yep.
go-
What's so even crazier though about all this is when I bought the package that included
oh, the
the live
gallery
show
event the
the
night
day
before.
before.
I remember
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. And anyways, in class, um, the next day, what threw me off, you had said, "How did you even buy your ticket?" Because I had canceled that show or
Oh, I
that event.
canceled I forgot about that. We didn't have
Mhm.
anybody sign up for Weekend Discovery. And I had so many other things happening. And I was like, you know what? No one signed up. Let's just remove it from the website. Let's cancel like the whole weekend discovery and the gallery event and just call it a day because I'm tired and I'm overworked and blah blah blah. And we actually did cancel it and then come to find out I'm like getting four notifications back to back like Soul signed up, this person signed up, that person signed up, that person signed up. And I remember asking you like, do you all four know each other? And she goes, no, I just got me and my friend like, signed up. And I was like, it was so wild, it wasn't even on the website anymore. And I
And
remember
what's
asking
wild
Soul,
is
like, how did you even sign up still?
we accidentally, or not accidentally, we ended up sitting right next to the same people
Yeah,
just
that's
by
why I thought that you like
happenstance.
knew each other because they were
Yeah.
sitting next to each other in the row.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It was meant to be. And literally, Daniel has you have completely opened up my spiritual path that I didn't even think that I was even gonna be a part, be a part of, capable of doing, to be honest,
Oh,
you know.
thank you. Yeah, that's what I love about my teachings because one, the gay in me is like, oh, I love it. I love it when my students realize, like, oh, wow, I'm actually going to do a reading. But I love tricking my students. And so, like, today, like, it's all about intuition and it's all about connecting with your own gifts and abilities. And so, I love telling students, like, okay, this is what we're signing up for. This is what we're going to be doing. But I don't like giving all of the, like, okay, today we're going to do a mediumship reading and blah, 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 because you start getting in your own head. And that's why, like, today we're going to start talking about like anxiety and like not getting in your head and how your mind truly does mess you up. And it really does start taking away from your own gifts and abilities. So, before we get into today's topic, make sure you guys start tagging people. I'm going to pull cards. Soul, did you pull any cards? I know you're traveling. Soul's ready. She's gonna pull some cards. So make sure you guys start sharing this. Make sure you're tagging people. Make sure you do the at sign, and we're gonna have fun. But I want you guys to remember that most people are not confused because they lack intuition. I hear that all the time. Like, oh my gosh, I just don't know what I'm doing. I lack intuition. I don't have spirit guides. I don't have anyone, guiding and directing me. But they're confused because anxiety actually speaks louder than your own intuition. And what I've learned throughout the years of being a professional psychic medium is intuition actually will come through as like a whisper. It will be gentle, but it will also be firm and confident. Your anxiety comes through chaotic and it actually can feel like you're arguing with yourself. So if it feels urgent, loud, and overwhelming, when you get this sensation, you get this information flowing in, that's not your soul. That's not your intuition. That's your nervous system trying to protect you. It's trying to, it's going off of what has happened in your past. It's going off of the phone call that triggered you, 6 months ago, or even just this morning. It's going off of protecting you. Your intuition will come through to guide you and to support you, but also to calm you. So imagine someone coming through going, "Hi, how are you? Things are going to be okay." And somebody else, while that, person's talking, comes in and going, "Hey, how are you? What's going on?" What are you going to hear the most? The loud. I literally had to move my microphone for that analogy. You're welcome. Ryan's like, Jesus, he has his headphones in. But it's true. Like, you're only going to focus on the loud, obnoxious, and not the calm person who's like, "Hi, how are you? How's your day?" That's where intuition gets overpowered by your own anxiety and your own internal processing. And what intuition actually feels like, again, is calm, neutral, grounded. It does not need to prove itself. It comes once and it doesn't spiral. It will come in and it will sit there. It doesn't have to continue going and go back out and blah blah blah. And it feels like a knowing, not a debate. So if you're sitting there and you are arguing with yourself or debating with yourself and going back and forth, that's not your intuition. That's your own internal processing. It's your own doubt. It's your own anxiety. So how many times have you had to go through that?
Oh, I go through it on a daily basis, honestly. I'm a very anxious person in general, but I've learned to try to really tune in. And you're completely right. The way for me it comes in when it's something I need to know, it is just that very soft ish, very comforting, just like whatever that is, right? So it's very different. But I experience anxiety, that kind of stuff all the time. And you're like, oh my God, this is going to happen. I just have this feeling. I have this feeling. And no, girl, it's just myself. It's the human
Yeah.
side of me, not my soul side of me.
I remember having like a random thing pop in, right? And it felt so confident and it felt so clear. And it was about like my niece. Like I was, trigger warning, you guys. I was what I would my niece would like live with my partner and I, and my sister and my niece lived with us. And anyways, I was babysitting her one day, and I remember standing at the top because we lived on the second floor, and I remember standing at the top of the staircase, and I turn and like my niece was like to the side of me, and I go to lock the door, and I thought, wouldn't that just suck if my niece Laura fell down these stairs and cracked her head open? Like that random
Mm.
thought came in and I started to go, "Oh my God, Daniel, like what's wrong with you? Why would you think that?" And I scooped her up, right? I grabbed her and I was like, "Oh hell no, like she's not walking down these stairs by herself." Like that was such a weird thought. And it wasn't until a week later that my sister and I and my partner, we got home, we preheated the oven, we were gonna throw some pizza in the oven, and we were gonna go to a haunted house because this was around Halloween time. And my partner goes and starts the oven. We were gonna just eat pizza right quick. We were waiting for like family to get off work, and we were gonna like meet them at the haunted house. And my niece Laura was at her dad's house because it was his weekend. And my sister's phone rings. I'm sitting on the couch. My sister's phone rings. She gets up, runs into the bedroom. Instantly, you guys, that thought of my niece falling and cracking her head instantly re-popped back in. And I just took off my shoes and I go, "Oh shit, we gotta go." And I grab my shoes, I start putting them on. I go, "Jared, go turn off the oven, grab your shoes. We got to go." And my sister, because this is the first time my niece has ever broken anything, cracked anything, had to go to the ER, anything. My sister comes flying out of the room. I don't even hear the conversation, you guys. I just instantly had that flashback back in. And my sister comes flying back in and she goes, "We have to go." She's crying and she sees that me and Jared are already ready to go. And I remember her going, what? And I'm like, honey, just get in the car. What hospital? And we get in the car and she's like calming down and she's freaking out because, she wasn't there when her daughter had this accident. And what it was is she was jumping off of the couches and, playing with her brother and whatever. And she fell off the couch and she didn't like crack her head and she had to get like staples or stitches or something.
Mm.
So I know what it's like firsthand on a human level to go, oh my God, like that's not intuition. That's so weird. Like I might need therapy. Like what is happening? But truly, in that moment when the intuition came back in and it said, hey, let me connect the dots, this is what it feels like. I will never forget that feeling of here's the intuition, grab your shoes, we need to get going. It was so subtle and it was just an instant like reassurance that hey, this is what we prepped you for last week. That little because in the moment when it first hit me the week prior, I was like, what the hell? Panicking, scooped her up. I was like, oh hell no. But it truly was the intuition was coming through again to say, hey, this is what we were prepping you for. This is it. Your sister needs you. And I remember driving to the hospital, and even to this day, if I were to pull my sister on here, she'd be like, yeah, you just knew. You had your shoes on, you were ready to go. So have you ever had any
It's
moments
so
like
funny
that,
that you,
Soul?
yeah, in fact, I was just thinking about, I think it was one of the times I'd gone to go see you, actually. And I was going to drive from Vancouver to Seattle to see my boyfriend. And I called home to check on my dad. And I was talking to him and I got to where I needed to go, but I just had this feeling that something was wrong, right? Everything
Mm,
seemingly was okay, but it wasn't, right? And I just had this, and I left in the middle of the night. I left and I got to the house and I took a look at my dad. I said, Dad, I got to take you to the hospital. And he got in this big
mm,
argument with me. He's like, nope, I'm not going. I'm going to die there. I'm not going. I'm not going. And the next day, which was Mother's Day, my little brother called me and he's just like, I'm calling the ambulance, calling 911. I got to take, and I'm like, absolutely. But what I found strange is when I knew he was on his way, why did I take my time and I went to go get my medicines? I need to go do some stuff because I had this feeling like I'm going to have to go do these
yeah,
things right now before I get there. And sure enough, I had to, right? But like, why would I have left in the middle,
right.
you
And it's
know,
so like
of my trip?
reassuring.
And
Like there was no chaos around that. There was no like, and it's weird because it's like there's not a panic. You just know, like it's almost like you've been given an assignment and you just have
yes,
to proceed. Like you don't know how it's gonna
it was a
work out. You don't know
mission.
what's gonna happen next. Like you just have to proceed.
It was, it was like I was on a mission, had to do it. And this is what it was. You know what I mean? I had no panic. I just knew I had to go. I need to go lay eyes on him and I'll know. And I already knew,
Yeah.
things like that, you know.
And it's again like intuition is actually it's not emotional, it's aware. And that's why when we have true
Mhm.
intuition versus anxiety popping in, your intuition is not emotional. It knows. And again, like we were just saying, and like Soul just said, like you were just on a mission. Like your intuition kicks in because your soul's kicking in because people don't realize that our soul, how many of you guys sound off in the comments have had a gut instinct? Because people don't realize the reason why we have gut feelings or gut instincts is because if you listen to the verbiage of solar plexus, your solar plexus is right above your belly button, right? It's right above your belly button. And when you are having a gut instinct, you will feel it in your gut, in your belly, because your soul is closest to your solar plexus. And it will start telling your physical body, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what's going to happen. So again, your intuition is coming from your soul because your soul is energy. Intuition and psychic work and connecting with the future and things like that is all energy. And your solar plexus is connected to your soul, and your soul is that antenna to what it is you're picking up on and energetically receiving. And so your intuition is not emotional, it's aware. Intuition doesn't chase you, it simply tells you and then waits to see if you're going to trust it. And that's the disconnect that people end up having anxiety override is that trusting part. Because why would I listen to something so calm when I'm used to chaos?
Yeah.
So you have to pause. If it feels calm, chances are you really need to pay attention to it, even if it's like left field. But if it
Absolutely.
feels, again, argumentative, or if it feels wild and chaotic, that's your own anxiety, and you still need to honor it, and you need to take a moment to breathe and be like, okay, why am I spiraling? And then allow, this is how you can bring intuition back into it, because if you ignore it, it's not gone forever. But you can start to quiet the anxiety override and go, okay, why am I feeling like this? And then listen and feel that subtleness, that confidence of your intuition coming back in. Because your anxiety will feel like repetitive thoughts, worst case scenarios, urgency and pressure. And it feels like you have to figure everything out right now in this moment. I know what that feels like, especially before getting on a flight, which I have to get on one tomorrow. And I have to remind myself, like, listen, that's your own anxiety. That's not your intuition. This plane is not going to crash. That's not your intuition. Because I'm like, I'm Daniel Monroe. I have to listen to every thought that comes in. This is literally what happens when I'm sitting in the TSA line. And I'm like, no, no, no. What does it feel like? Does it feel like, hey, there's going to be complications on this flight? No. It feels like, oh my God, drop and roll. That's not intuition. That's my own anxiety. Do you have to ever like catch yourself so of like, no, no, girl, let me take a beat, let me take a breather.
Oh, all the time. In fact, as a matter of fact, I had a really bad a dream while I've been here, a nightmare about my little brother that
Oh,
I was crying in the dream and I woke up really upset. And it has stayed with me the last couple of days. But when I sit there and I think about it and I'm thinking of these scenarios, I'm like, that's just my human reaction. That's not really what's gonna happen.
right.
It's my anxiety because I have a lot of anxiety. I have that disorder already around like, things happening to people that I love. I have this I had to go to therapy for it because I get really
Yeah,
panicky
because you
about
went through
it.
a lot of loss.
Um, I have, and I said it like at 16, I lost my grandfather, and I knew it was going to happen beforehand, and so that triggered this whole thing for me. But since I've been here, I've been honoring it. If I feel worried, I'm texting him, making sure he's okay. But then when I really sit with myself and I'm like sitting, I really think I'm like, no, it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. It's okay. You're just panicking because of other things that have happened, because of things that happened in the past, like you said. So the human part of me is like, oh my God, I want to worry. I'm the big sister. I got to fix this.
I got to
I'm like,
figure
there's
it out
nothing to
now.
fix. Yes, yes. And there's nothing to fix.
No. And it's
Yeah.
wild how our anxiety is a storyteller. That's the part that always like gets me whenever I have a panic attack. I already went down 5 different horror movies in the last 3 minutes because my
Hmm.
anxiety will come through as a storyteller, and it always tells stories about what could go wrong. But if your mind is giving you 10 different answers, none of them are your intuition. That's the part where again you have to, like Soul was even just sharing, like you have to be like, you know what? I don't have to figure it out right now. That's the intuition. That's her gut saying, hey girl, like it's gonna be okay. Like just take a breather. And your nervous system, you guys, I get it. Like we go into fight or flight so quickly. And when we go into fight and flight, that is so fear-based thinking. And then we go freeze and we pause and we panic and we feel frozen. That's overthinking, and it's making you feel stuck. And when you're in a regulated state, it's more open for your intuition to start coming through, because you cannot hear your intuition in survival mode. Your survival mode is too loud. It's way too loud. Your intuition lives in a safety and a receptive space, and your anxiety lives in protection. So when you go through a panic, are you going through, you know what? I'm feeling like this information is coming through to make me feel safe and make me feel secure and to help me? Or are you going into this analogy and these scenarios because you feel like you need to protect or be protected? Again, going back to the story I shared with my niece. In that moment, I feel like I need to protect my niece. I scooped her up. I was like, oh, hell no, she's not walking down these stairs. But when the true intuition came in a week later about what was happening, I went into this space of being calm and safe and ready to go because I was that safe space for my sister. Yeah, it's so wild. I will
You
never
knew
forget
what to
that. And that's
do.
when I started like, say that again?
So that's, I mean, but that's what you're prepping, you're prepping yourself to be that rock for your sister. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like whenever I do readings, and this is why people are like, "Oh my gosh, like I can't connect, I can't do this, blah blah. I don't have any gifts." And it's like, "Well, are you connecting for yourself or are you connecting for other people?" Well, for me, like we all have intuition, we all have this. And the thing is, the reason why it's highly recommended to go to a psychic or a medium or whatever to make those connections is because the medium or the psychic, the even a healer, we have no skin in the game. So we become an open and clear channel to where we are open and receptive to the information that we need to tap into for you. Now, I can't sit here and read for me. It's very not rare, but it's very few and far between of when I have those moments happen for me. Now I'll have signs and I'll follow it and things like that, but when it's like a 911 blah 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 situation. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. We did a blessing for my twins. And I called Soul up and I said, "Hey, I want to do this blessing. We're not doing like the typical like, baptism situation, but I want to do a spiritual like cord cutting, saging, and I want every like very small select friends and family to come and give the boys a little intention. And then we had a rose quartz that everyone, also put a little intention for them to help them, manifest and things like that. And you remember the phone call, Sol, and I said, "There's something in the air, and I have a feeling that because my niece is the twins' bio mom, so they're technically like my great nephews, but now because not illegally, I legally adopted them, they are my sons." And so I had this feeling, and it wasn't chaotic. And I want to share this because I know what it's like to be like, well, how do you know the difference? This is how. I remember calling Sloan. I said, "There's something in the air that I just need to do this clearing because I feel like something is brewing on my niece's side of the family, like with her mom, and I have a feeling like they're gonna try to come after my kids." And Soul was like, "Do you really think they would?" I was like, "Yeah, it's just this weird feeling that I have." And I wasn't, and so you could tell him, I wasn't like, "Oh my God, we have to do this. I don't know why. I had a horrible
Hmm.
dream and blah, blah, blah." I literally was like, "Hey, are you available? I would love for you to be here. What weekend?" I want it to be very, cute and grounding. Like, nowhere in there was I like, "Oh my God, they're gonna rip my babies away." I just know it. There was just this, hey, let's energetically clear what's happening. And sure as shit, you guys, a week later, I found out, and did I not, Soul, that my
Yep, you
niece's
did.
mom was trying to do some shady stuff because she feels entitled. But in reality, she's not a safe situation. She's not a rock or a sounding board. She's never tried to help with the twins. Even when they first moved in and I reached out to her like, "Hey, do you have any blankets, this or that?" She was like, "Nope, that bridge is burnt." And I was like, "Oh my God, like who can do that to 3-week-old babies? Like who cares about family drama? Like how can you just as their own bio grandma turn your back so quickly because of what?" So it was so interesting. And ironically, we did the clearing a week later, found out, that they were trying to brew something up. And then I literally just called my niece and we sat down and we like reconnected. And we like had this heart to heart and we had this conversation. And I wanted to share that to also share like even if something does feel so scary and it is a scary situation, notice the calmness within it. That's where you can go, "You know what? This is my intuition. You know what? This shitty thing might end up happening, but you know what? I feel like I'm going to be okay." So I want you guys to like remember that because in that moment, like I'm not going to lie, there's moments of like panic. Like when I did find out, absolutely, I went into that anxiety protection mode and I cried. I was like, they better not come after my babies. These are my babies. I have held them. They're almost 8 months old. They literally moved in barely at a month old. These are my babies. These are my kids. How dare they try to even think that this is acceptable when we all know that they're not suitable to even be near them? And that was the protection anxiety brain. But prior to that, the intuition was already in the air and it was feeling calm and it was feeling like, hey,
I
let's
know.
energetically start clearing some stuff. And what a beautiful thing. Like I was able to reconnect with my niece. She was here yesterday and we're working on again opening up the Daniel Monroe Spirit Center here in Vancouver. And she was helping like watch them and hang out with them. And you could see she gets like overwhelmed so quickly. I'm like, girl, they're twins. Like I get it. And she's young. She's young. She's still a kid herself. And but it was such a beautiful thing that, you know what, I was able to listen to my intuition. I was able to clear that energy. And now she's able to, spend more time with them. So it really is important to navigate and pay attention that even when we're hit with something wild, you can take a moment and see, like, you know what, this is anxiety, this is intuition. And it's okay to feel both. Like, that's normal. We're not sitting here today saying, don't feel anxiety, always be Gandhi. Like, that's not reality. Let's be real. I'm gay and sassy and emotional. Like, I'm going to go into that. But you have to take a deep breath and just realize, you know what? Things are going to work out how it's supposed to work out. But your soul, your spirit guides are there guiding you. But I'm not gonna lie, if things were to continue and I would were to continue spiraling, absolutely I was getting ready to call soul to be like, pull some cards, bitch. I can't connect with this because I wasn't in the right space. I was in more anxiety mode than I was intuition mode.
Absolutely. I completely agree with everything that you said. I mean, same thing. I cannot read myself. I can, you
Yeah.
said, get those intuition checks, those, you just know, I mean, the normal stuff, but like I cannot read myself because I also get very, well, you've seen me. I can get very emotional and
Yeah.
I go off with emotion versus, let me sit and think. And you're so calm. Like, I mean, we had an incident a couple years ago in Vegas and I was just so upset.
I
And
was thinking
that's
about
when I
Vegas when
used,
I was like,
remember,
I'm not gonna bring it up if she wants to bring it up.
I'll say it. I'll say, yeah, no, I was so upset this whole trip and I felt so bad. I owe Daniel another Vegas trip.
Yeah, you
And
do.
he was so calm with me the whole time. And I would use I mean, hey, my bestie's a psychic medium. I'm using you I had to use you in
I
those
was like a
moments.
magic
And
eight
I'd be
ball
like,
for
look,
soul on this trip.
he was, I would like shake him and he'd be like, yes, no, maybe.
Try
But
again. I'm
and
sleepy.
it, exactly, exactly. But in true reality, I was so amped up and nothing could calm me down, but really Daniel. And he's like, it's fine. You're fine. And then when I really sat back and I thought about everything, I'm like, you knew eventually it was going to be fine. You're
Yeah,
just in that moment. I'm very like, I'm not a patient person per se. So like I want it done and I want it done. I want answers now because that anxiety sits in me and I need that sense of relief. Like I
right.
mean, this is a really dumb example I'm going to give you, but this is my real life. So I I have this panic attack about mail sometimes, about if it's a bill or if it's the IRS or if it's something, right? So I have to daily check my mailbox before I can really go on with my day, so I check it and I'm like, oh, no mail. I'm good. And then I'm like, whew, okay, I can enjoy the rest of
I'm
my day.
free another day if there's no
Yes. And
mail.
and that is just so stupid. That is just
Yeah.
so dumb. But that's the anxiety in me. That is not intuition or my spirit guides telling me, girl, you're going to get something bad in the mail. That's
You're
not
getting
what that is.
subpoenaed.
It's because,
Don't check the mail.
yes, yes, exactly. And it's because I probably got a bad piece of mail one time and then that just freaking triggered me, right? So I like in this trip, I've been gone a few days. I'm in Virginia City, Nevada, paranormal investigating. So if you hear some weird creaks, this place is haunted. So I've been hearing things off and on, but I've had to let that anxiety go, right? So my
Right.
guides are stepping in like, you're fine, girl. You're probably gonna get there and there's gonna be nothing. So you're going to be fine. So you're going to worry about nothing. So it's just that kind of like, you have to talk to yourself, and you really have to, like for me, like you said, like for me, I cannot meditate for nothing. I'm not a good meditator. I try, I fall asleep. Right. So
Can you
I
please
find when
share
I'm
the
doing
gummy
things like,
situation? You don't
yes,
have to
oh
if
my
you don't
God.
want
So
to,
I
but
will,
the gummy
I will. No,
situation
absolutely.
sends me every fucking time.
So, I've been on a spiritual journey with Daniel, and I've taken, I don't know how many
Daniel
courses,
doesn't
and,
do gummies,
and
just
I'm
so we're
trying,
clear. Don't say spiritual journey with
no, no, no,
Daniel.
no, but that, I mean, because that's the path that I'm on, right? So I
Yeah.
wanted to really hone in on this meditation and connect with my guides, and I'm going to channel, what they have to
And have a
say.
past
But
life experience.
yes, yes, just know it all. I want to talk to my higher self. So I had a friend who had been experiencing that using gummies. And I'm like,
This is
okay, let
this
me
is
try it,
literally,
right?
I was
So,
just telling this the other day. It's my favorite story.
oh, it's bad. So I go to the store and I tell them exactly what I'm trying to do. I don't want to sleep, but I want to be calm, whatever. So I pick out mine. So then I get home. I'm so excited, but I'm like, I don't really partake in that. So let me take a half a gummy and see what happens. So I sat there on the couch with my notebook like this, ready to go
Ready to
with a
channel a
pen,
past life or an
ready
ancestor.
to channel. An hour and a half later, I wake up in the exact same position. That's just one. Right? Nothing
Yeah.
happened. Right. And then, so I tried it a couple days later, like, okay, let me take a whole gummy and see, maybe,
A whole
and
gummy.
I did a little bit, a whole gummy, and let me do it maybe not so late. I woke up, I had crackers and don't even remember getting crackers. And I was half on, half off the couch with my notebook and crackers on the floor.
Can you
So,
imagine?
needless
You're like,
to
all
say,
right, I'm gonna kick it up a notch. I'm gonna take a gummy. You go and take a half a gummy, and then you're just like, oh, I fell asleep. Like I just took a little nap. Like oh, maybe I just didn't dose myself properly, and then you come back the next day. You take a full one. Mind you, the half of one made you pass out. Not even a vision in sight.
should have known,
And
right?
then you literally take a full gummy, wake up half on, half off on your couch. There's Cheez Its or some shit all around. You don't even remember getting up and getting Cheez Its. Did an ancestor at least come in and hand you these Cheez Its?
Uh, you know, I don't even know, but let me tell you, that wasn't the end of it though, because I'm like, maybe I bought the wrong gummy. And I did it three more times
Three more times?
with the same exact thing that happened. I just fall asleep. So I realized I cannot connect like that. So
Did you at least
for
get different
me,
snacks involved, or were they all just crackers?
no, I actually at that point I was just like, no, we did it after dinner, so we're not gonna be hungry at all.
She was full.
And I can just go back to sleep. She was full. No more crackers. But for me, I find when I'm doing mundane activities, whether it's doing dishes and stuff like that, where I'm mindlessly doing some stuff, that's when I will get a lot of my intuitional thoughts, right? It'll be like, hey, call so and so. It could be like, hey, you need to call Daniel, and
Yeah.
then I'll call you. And I was not mean, like, even if I wasn't thinking about you in that moment, but something tells me call Daniel. So then I'll call you, and you're like, girl, I was just about to call you. Shit's going down.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to cuss, but things like that. So it's kind of like you said, the best way to describe it, it's calm, it's soothing, even if it's not,
And it's
and it's
confident, like
not.
it's subtle, but yet it's like
Yes,
it's kind of like a
yes,
calm, cocky boyfriend. I'm not joking. Like
yes.
he's cocky, he's confident, but you know what? You know he can hold you down. That's what your
It's
intuition
like
feels like.
it's like when you're talking to me. That's really, because I mean, you have that, you have that about you, right? You're very confident and you're very secure, and you're just be like, of course, girl. I mean, paraphrasing, like, yeah, duh.
I'm also your ride or
It's
die.
like,
Like this
you are
intuition can
you are
go south real quick.
Absolutely. But I mean, you have that thing about calming me down in a lot of different situations, because it didn't
Yeah.
happen just once. It's happened twice. you know?
It was literally like back to back 3 weeks. We were
It
getting ready to
was
go on a
it was
fucking road
awful.
trip.
It was awful. I was
I was
asking my
like,
guards,
girl,
what
I
the
don't
hell
think
is this?
anything's happening, but let me know if I need to pack my bag because I'll go with you because you're not go. Wasn't
Yeah.
there like thunderstorm, not thunderstorm,
Her
tornadoes?
it
There
was
was
a it was
tornadoes
it was there
happening,
was a it was a hurricane.
a
A
hurricane,
hurricane.
and her ass was getting ready, and I was like, listen, I feel like everything's fine. I feel like they're just a little bit not tech savvy, blah blah blah. I feel like they're okay, but the gay in me is like, that's the intuition side, the medium side. The gay in me is like, but let me know how bad this hurricane is because I need to go get my will together. Now that I have babies, I probably can't go that crazy with you no more.
No.
But I was like, also,
Look,
should I bring heels? Is there a bar that we're gonna stop off? Like, am I bringing makeup? No makeup? You let me know, baby. You let me know.
n- oh no, we ain't having situations like that anymore anyway. Nuh-uh. I pray to God not.
No,
I think God gave
somebody
me my
owes me
fill
a
of that one.
handbag, by the way, still,
That's
and a
true.
new
That's true.
trip.
You know what? You're right. And a new trip. We gotta get that going again.
Oh my god!
But
I remember just even
no,
being at the pool, and we would like go swimming, and then come back and like check the phone, and your fucking phone was so on, like it literally said overheating warning, and she's like, "No!"
I know. Oh my God, you see, spirit clocked me. I knocked my head back, tell me the girl knocked the crap out of you.
Yeah, get it
No, it was, I
together.
mean, I was like in a whole different, I was spiraling,
Yeah,
literally. And even when I would sit and think, my anxiety, my human self was just like, blah blah blah, just talking. It made it just so much worse. And then Danny would be like, girl, you're fine, it's fine.
yeah.
And he would never panicked about it. He was like, no, you're fine, everything's fine, it'll be today, he's gonna call you today, or whatever it was. And
And he
you were
did.
right.
He did.
But and he did. And you just eavesdropping from the bathroom.
It was the most awkwardest but funnest conversation you've had in a bathroom that
You
I've
know what,
ever
I'll never
witnessed.
forget. Remember when I came out of the shower, 'cause I had to cry it out, because sometimes that does
Yeah.
help, right? Release that anxiety and you can let it go for a little while. And then I don't want to cry hard because in front of Daniel. So I did it in the shower. And then he came, I was like, were you crying? And I
I was
was
like, "Were you
like,
crying?
yes, you
Were
can.
you crying?" And you're like, yeah."
Yeah, but I did it so I didn't wake you and, make you worry. But he heard me
I was like,
anyway.
"No, girl, I can feel it. You were in there sobbing. I
Yeah.
got you, though. I
Yep.
got you."
Yep.
But here's like the good thing, though, is you get to again you're allowed to have these panic moments, these freakouts, whatever
Mhm.
you want to call it, but you do get to come back to center, and you do that by
Yes.
pausing and not reacting immediately. But that so when you react
Yeah.
immediately, again, that's that human side of you. But when you pause, you could actually start making room again for your intuition. And then when you take a deep breath, that actually regulates your body first. And then when you
Yeah.
ask, what do I know without fear? So ask yourself that. So pause, take a deep breath, and then ask, what do I know without fear? What do I know? What do I feel? What do I sense without having feel fear being around that? And then give it space. Give it a moment. Don't be one of those, may I say, holla back girls, meaning don't be like, all right, spirit, show me. Okay, I waited 2 seconds. You didn't show me shit, soul. No, you have gotten way better. Nowadays, we've kind of like switched places. Now I'm like, oh hell no, blah blah blah. And Soul's like my sounding board, and I'm ready to pop someone's tire. But no, it's true. Like, don't be like, okay, I asked Spirit, I did it, and nothing happened in that moment. It's like, well, it's not a genie. Like, your intuition and your spirit guides aren't going to come up and be like, all right, girl, I got you. You get 3 questions to ask me. Like, it doesn't work that way because clarity
No.
doesn't come from forcing an answer. It comes from creating space. So if you have to convince yourself, it's not your intuition. When you have to start convincing yourself, it's not your intuition. And again, that's why it's not highly recommended with like serious situation that souls went through or that I go through, to sit here and tap in for yourself, because you'll start to convince yourself to calm yourself. That's your nervous system, that's your anxiety. But you have to check in, and again, if it feels clear but confident, that's your intuition. And you have to also realize, like, the more you continue going down like the anxiety spiral, you start actually breaking trust away from you. And honey,
Hmm.
like, if you can't trust yourself, how are you gonna like put trust in other people? So you have to start small by building trust back in yourself. Like, if you want to strengthen your intuition, start small, daily decisions, track when you were right, stop outsourcing your knowing, because you don't trust your intuition because you've been taught to trust everything else first. You literally trust everything else first, everyone else's advice, because you stop trusting you. And the goal isn't to be right every time and have a high success rate when you ask yourself or check in with yourself. The goal is to be honest with you and be vulnerable with you.
Absolutely. Like for me, when I have those moments, I honor those feelings. Whatever I'm feeling, you honor that. And I kind of think to myself, like, okay, but why are you feeling it this way? It's because X, Y, and Z is why you feel like that. This is not the same thing. It's not repetitive. It's not going to always happen the same way. Right. So it's that trauma experience. So I allow myself to acknowledge those feelings, because once I acknowledge and honor them, even if it's just for that moment, then I really can give myself time to sit back and really connect and be like, okay, really, what is this?
Right.
So like Daniel said, I've gotten a lot better with some stuff like that.
Yeah. And also, like, we're Hispanic, right? So we're real quick to
Yep.
be like, oh, hell no. Go get my bag, grab the keys. I'll meet you
I'm
in the
like,
car.
let me take off
Yeah.
my earrings,
We're ready to fight,
very,
honey.
yep, yep,
But
exactly.
and that's the other thing, too, is you have to realize that if you react that quickly, like, where in that did we, even just in this funny analogy, did we leave space for intuition or spirit guides to be like, hey, you're going to be okay?
Hmm.
Because I want you guys to remember, like, intuition is quiet because it trusts you to hear it. Can you imagine being that one friend and being that spirit guide that you never listen to? And it's always like, hey, like, I'm here, I got you. And
And
then
you don't
it's
believe
like,
me. Hmm.
right. So
Hmm.
you have to remember that. And also remember, anxiety repeats because it doesn't trust you to feel safe.
Hmm.
You have to trust you in order to strengthen your own intuition. And your intuition will never rush you into something that is not aligned. All right? Because you already know. You just don't trust what you know yet. But that will come. And the louder the thought is, the less likely it's the truth. So, again, if it feels loud and chaotic, that's not your intuition. That's not the truth. And I want you guys to listen closely to this. Peace is your answer, not pressure. So when you are tapping in it, even if it is kind of, again, a shitty situation or tough love feeling, if it feels peaceful or like things resolving, then chances are that's your intuition. All right. All right. We're going to
And
start pulling some cards. Or go for it.
I was gonna just say one last thing is when I read for my clients, the majority of the readings, I tell them this: you already know everything that I'm telling you. It's just that you're looking for a validation from a stranger that you're thinking correctly, that your intuition that you're getting is on point. That's really what I think, believe that sometimes when they're coming to psychics, mediums,
No,
it's for
absolutely.
stuff that they already know. And and I tell them that. I go, what I'm telling you is not new. You already know, you've known this. It's just that you wanted me to validate that what you're feeling, what you're experiencing is real. You are on
Right.
point with yourself. Hmm.
Because again, you have that, it's built into you. You have that intuition. Sometimes, and if you guys want us to pull cards, make sure you do the little at sign, start tagging people. Make sure you say, hey, what's up? The more you guys tag, the more we'll see it, and the more chances you'll have of pulling some cards for you. But you have it built in. Like, when you go to a psychic and you go to a medium, an intuitive, your soul has already guided you. And clearly, your soul is so exhausted and it's told your mind, hey, book a session. So that way you can have that added comfort so we can start doing something about this.
Hmm.
Hi, meditation Barbie. How are you, my love? So make sure you guys do the little at sign, start tagging people. Hi from Colorado. Hello, hello. Come on in. But while you guys are coming in, I literally had three cards fall out, so I have to grab them.
Okay. Ooh.
Here
Are
we
you gonna do
go.
like a collective or what?
We'll just start with the collective while people are commenting. But also, you guys, I have the Cocktails and Spirit is back for Mother's Day. Tickets are going live on my website if you want to go and check that out in Ridgefield, Washington. But also on May 2nd is the grand opening of the Daniel Monroe Spirit Center right here in Vancouver, Washington. So make sure you guys follow me on social, go over to my website, subscribe, because we're giving for the first people who come, the first 10, you get a little swag bag. And then we are also doing the raffle gift basket. So you'll be able to buy raffle tickets and stuff. And there's going to be an autographed James Van Prague book that's going in the raffle basket. There is a free 30-minute reading with me gift certificate in there. There's a bunch of different products and goodies and intention candles and oils and stuff going in the raffle basket. And I will have the lovely Soul along with some other practitioners doing card readings there that day that you guys can purchase a little ticket to go and get a reading with whomever you want. You can purchase however many you want and come and check out all the fabulous products. And I literally hand selected, there's certain items that I also co-created with some amazing distributors that I love and I love so much, like Love Potions. They're making intention oils for me, and I've been like hand selecting the scents and all of that, and it's so much fun. And there's so many different crystals and different bundle kits and stuff that I really want spirituality and I really want you connecting with your gifts and your soul to be accessible, but I also want it to be easy. Kind of like how when a lip kit became a thing where you had the lip liner and you had the lipstick and the lip gloss, like somebody put it together for you. So I'm not your typical metaphysical shop where here's 77,000 different crystals that you can go and like figure out. There's like tumblestone boxes that already have whatever intention you're wanting. They're already put together with a little card. We have our chakra healing kits back, and it has a little chart and it has a whole entire wooden box. There's a manifest that shit kit, and it has sage and palo santos and an intention stone with it. So I really have been selecting things to make spirituality easy, accessible, and you manifesting and connecting with your gifts and connecting with love and connecting with healing so much easier. So go and make sure you mark your calendars May 2nd. It's in Vancouver, Washington, off of Grand Boulevard, right here. And like I said, Vancouver, Washington. And get ready. It's already on the webs on Google Maps, Daniel Monroe Spirit Center. So get
Yay!
ready. All
Exciting.
right. So what collective card do you have? And then I'll do my three.
Library, take control of your own narrative, and to me that just, it just means that stop letting people tell your story for you. Take your life back, right? Because people will spin a narrative, right? If they want you to look bad to whatever the situation, so maybe it's a situation that people are in where you have stayed silent, right? Because you're like, I don't need to speak out, it'll speak for itself. But sometimes you cannot let that control, have somebody else have that control and someone else tell your story.
Yeah. And if you like library, like you have the information, you have the
Yep,
knowledge. I love that.
absolutely.
All
Hmm.
right, so the three cards that fell out literally while I was shuffling, I had to go to the floor and grab them. Let's see. Ooh, leadership. So for those of you who are drawn to this card, it's all about stepping into your power, stepping into the light, stepping into the things that you know, going back to intuition, that you need to do. Those things that you know you need to accomplish. Those things that you know are going to catapult you towards success or towards what your soul is wanting to accomplish. So, really step into that leadership. The next card that literally fell out is ooh, adventure. Go on adventure, have fun. I think this card came up last time. Have fun. Really, we have beautiful, weather right now here in Washington. So really go on adventure. But the other thing that's like standing out in this card is the hills. If you guys can notice the hills. So spirit is also coming through if you're drawn to this card that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that you keep going through these ups and downs, but know that spirit has your back even if it doesn't feel like it. Know that you do have Spirit's support every step of the way. And the last one that fell out, and then I'm sure Soul has another card. Oh, pleasure. Have fun. Go do things that bring you pleasure, that brings you happiness. Enjoy things that make you happy because Spirit's telling you, honey, you need a break. You need something for you. You need to be able to connect with you. Also, right quick, I forgot to mention this, and then Soul will pull cards. I just saw a little message pop up from my assistant, and I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot." Tonight, because I actually forgot, like, oh, we only have this many hours left. I'm doing $100 off all private readings. $100, you guys. So if it's the 275 30-minute reading, it's only 175. If it's an hour reading, that's 375. It's only 275. And I only have like 2 or 3 openings left in June, and then July is already booking up. So make sure you go and use code SPIRIT 100. So Spirit 100 at mediumdanielmonroe.com. We're going to drop the link in the comments as well and go and book your session because it literally ends tonight. We only are doing it for 48 hours because literally when I was spray painting and putting together the Spirit Center, Spirit was literally yelling in my ear. When I say yelling, I'm not saying like they're beating me, just so we're clear, but it was so clear and so confident and so repetitive, I get it, Spirit, that they were like, listen, so many people need connection and they need validation. And I was able to work out a certain deal with this lease situation. And so I still have a high overhead, don't get me wrong. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to utilize this opportunity because Spirit was telling me people need connection. They need this moment. So I was like, you know what? We'll drop everything $100 off. So all private readings with me are $100 off with code SPIRIT100. And you guys literally, because when so when you're driving, when you're doing dishes, when you're painting, you're taking a bath, that's when you're quiet. And I'm literally sitting here, hand spraying, literally blood, sweat, and tears into the Spirit Center, you guys. I'm sitting here hand spraying, just repetitive, and all I have is me and Spirit talking. So make sure you guys do take advantage of that because this is literally a huge flash sale that is booking me out for a few months, and I won't be doing a discount in a very long time. So go and utilize that. All right, Soul. I'm so excited for you and for your Spirit Center. Thank you, Raven. I love you. Yeah, go and check it out. May 2nd at 11 a.m. is the grand opening. And hopefully you're one of the first 10 people to get a swag bag. All right, go for it, my love.
Yay. So the next card I pulled is called Lighthouse, Don't Doubt Your Worth. And I think this kind of goes hand
Ooh.
in hand with the topic for today. And a lot of it is like stop doubting yourself. Stop that you don't have these gifts, that you don't have the abilities, that you don't know, or you're in a situation where it's making you doubt yourself. It's making you see Spirit wants you to see you the way that they see you,
I love
you
that.
know, and you have it all. Don't doubt yourself. Don't not anyone take away your sunshine. Not
Don't
no one. Not
ever.
now. Not to. Nope. So if
I
anyone's
love
been
that.
feeling like that, you have it all.
You have it. All right, I'm gonna do one more, and Soul's gonna do one more before we have to say goodbye. Ooh, I keep hitting the microphone. Also, can you believe this? This is the last episode that I'm doing here. And then we will be in the new podcast studio in the Spirit Center. I literally have a podcast studio being built for other practitioners to be able to use as well. We'll have a classroom, we'll have a practitioner card reading room, and then we have the actual storefront with all this stuff. So, literally, you guys, it's a true full blown Spirit Center for classes and card readings and just connection. Like, I'm so excited. All right, let's see, let's see, let's see. You guys ready? These cards are kind of direct, so they kind of make me nervous every time I shuffle them. I'm like, what are they going to say? Ooh, Radiance. Look, it's a lighthouse too. Shut up. Radiance. I am a radiant reflection of God's light. So, literally, you guys need to hear this today. You are beautiful. You are radiant. Don't let anyone dim your light. Also, just because you are, this is very interesting. This just popped in from Spirit. Just because you are that lighthouse for other people and people are attracted to you for you to fix them, you don't always have to fix them. You can simply hold space and say, you know what, I hear you. But it's not your duty and it's not your job to sit here and give them advice or to fix it. You can simply be radiant and be loving and be that light. Literally, that's Soul. Anytime I have a situation, I go to Soul. Soul's like my little lighthouse. And she doesn't sit here. She'll give me support, she'll give me love, but she doesn't tell me what to do, what I need to be doing. And she doesn't create other fear in my ear. She truly is just like, you know what? That's messed up. I hear what you're saying, honey, that's shitty. What about this? But she doesn't sit here and go, well, you need to look at this. You need to start asking that. I would ask him this. I would approach that. And it's true. Like you get to be a lighthouse for other people and you don't have to fix them. You can simply just be that radiant light. All right, what's your
I
card,
love
my
that.
love?
That's beautiful. Lavender says, surround yourself with love. To me, this
Ooh.
is about finding your tribe. And I don't even think it's talking about this about family. I think it's about finding the people that bring out that light in you or that you're drawn to. Because you can, how was I going to say? You can have a lot. So there's three friends, right? So they're all, they're all having their, chit chatting it up. But that doesn't always mean, though, how would I say this? You have those friends that you think that you're friends, but they're not really your friends. And they're the first ones that when they're not the, and you kind of know that they're not the people that you're going to go to when there's something major going on, because you're going to feel like they're going to love that. Right. And so this is about, I think, can be cutting, drawing yourself back. Cause I mean, your energy is priceless. You know what I mean? And not everybody deserves your energy. So I think if you're finding your tribe, your people, surrounding yourself who bring out the best in you, who cheer you on, who are your lighthouse, and you're a lighthouse for other people. It's about it. And also I have to say this, not all, that includes family too.
Yeah. So find your
Sometimes,
calm, that lavender.
yeah,
Find your
yep.
tribe that brings you that calm, that brings you that essence of being okay.
hmm I know I said that
I
kind of
love it.
clunky, but
No, I loved it.
that's
I was
yes.
with every journey. I literally started compiling a list.
Because sometimes I go off on a tangent. I'm like, ooh,
No, I
but
love it. Alrighty, my loves. Thank you, Soul, so much for joining me today. I have a feeling this is not going to be the one and only time, honey.
no, I'm so happy you asked me, and I know it's like this is the first time I've ever done something like this. So I know
Oh my
I
God.
can talk kind of funky. I get mixed up over my words because I get nervous or whatever. Oh, they're calling me to
Okay.
they're knocking
We
on the
love
door.
you guys. Come and see Soul and I May 2nd. Thank you for being here, Soul. You could sign off.
Thank
But
you.
come May 2nd in Vancouver, Washington, the Daniel Monroe Spirit Center, and make sure you guys go and use the code SPIRIT100 to save $100 off every reading. Soul's literally at a hotel, so she has to like pack her shit and go. So I love you guys. Happy Monday. I will be checking in, but I take off to San Diego tomorrow. And I just want to say thank you for always joining us and make sure you guys stick around for next Monday at 11 a.m. I'll be in the new podcast studio. All right. I love you guys. Remember to always love yourself and to be yourself and don't let anyone tell you different. Okay. Bye.